Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to day 7 here on the 31 Days of Horror. I am your host Mood616 and thank you once again for stopping in, guys. Yeah, day 7 is here and I've got another independent horror film for y'all. This one's coming straight out of Van City, Vancouver, to people that don't know that term, from my boy Vince D'Amato. I've recently met Vince a few months back at the Calgary HorrorCon, of course, in Calgary. And I was super excited to meet him. Such a nice guy, really great conversations and stuff. And yeah, we just sat around, talked some horror as much as we could. He's a busy guy and stuff, but he was nice enough to have a bunch of films there to sell. And of course, I picked this one up. He personalized it to me and stuff. So finally getting around to watching it. And this one is from 2013, from I think Brigado Giallo. It's a company that he'd formed, I think it's Countrywise or Peoplewise. I'm not sure. I can't remember the whole story on that one. But presented from Creepy Six Films, and it is called Reversed. Now, this film right here is basically it's like a Neo Giallo. It's like a new type of Giallo. But the interesting thing about this movie is that it's pretty much silent. There's no dialogue in this film. There is a little bit of dialogue. It's in Italian, but there's no subtitles, and that was done purposely. That's the way they wanted to do it. It was part of the sound design for the film. So, but yeah, get into the plot of this one. It's basically about this girl, Asia, and the whole narrative is told basically by a series of almost flashbacks about, her previous relationships. And she's had many of them, it's kind of flashing back to all these different scenes of her lovers and stuff like that. She's kind of like a free spirit. She's, it says on the back, a globetrotter. I like that term, actually. But yeah, she's going around in the world. She's like in London and Italy. And I believe those are the two places that she's at. As she's traveling around the world, the story's being told from these flashbacks and stuff. And she's kind of, it's almost like a paranoia feel to the film and stuff. You don't really know if she's being followed or if it's all in her head, and if she was actually part of like all this murder and deception that was going on with her lovers and stuff like that. So, but yeah, that's basically what the whole film is, kind of giving you right there. Now, my thoughts on this one. Like I said up the top of the review, this film right here doesn't have any dialogue in it, so it's all presented to you visually. And I will start with the cinematography. The cinematography in this film is absolutely fantastic. I'm not really too sure on how Vince shot this film, what he used to shoot this, but it has a very authentic kind of 70s Giallo feel to it and look. It just looks very authentic, and it's grainy. It's very clear though, and the colors are just fantastic in this film. It has, that very type old school Giallo film, or look to it, like the Bava and the Argento's. Not as vibrant, but the colors do change quite drastically in this film. 1 minute it'll be in black and white, and the next minute it'll be in vibrant colors and stuff. But really awesome cinematography, really awesome settings. You can tell there was a little bit of guerrilla shooting going on in this one too. Shooting in, I think in Italy and in the UK and stuff, in open kind of areas and stuff, and just doing things like that, which I really do dig. I love that type of filmmaking, but it really worked out well. It looks fantastic, which leads me into the editing of the film. The editing is fantastic too. There's a lot of quick edits in this. There's just a lot of scenes. It's one of those type of films that you really have to pay attention. Like I said, there's no dialogue, so the whole story is visual. If you look away for a second, you might miss something. So the editing and the pacing in this film is really fast. Which is fantastic. It really kind of keeps you on your heels a little bit, because you're going, whoa, like where's this going? And it is confusing. The whole story and stuff is very almost surreal. It kind of gives you this whole surreal type feel when you're watching the film, because you just don't know really where this is going, like in true fashion of a 70s Italian Giallo. So but yeah, it has this really awesome pace to it. Now, the music is probably one of the best things about this film. Really fantastic score and music to this film. All done by Mickey Evil, I believe, did the soundtrack for this. And it just really does have an authentic Italian feel to it with the music. And the cues are fantastic. When I was watching this film, I got about halfway through, and there was one cue up in this film that completely reminded me of John Carpenter. Even the music, in a way, reminded me of Carpenter, mixed with, I would almost say like Claudio Simonetti, to be honest. I know that's, you know, very kind of cliche to say Claudio Simonetti because he's probably one of the most famous Italian scorers, of course, from Goblin. But for some weird reason, it just reminded me of the music, just kind of those two blended together. There was a couple of cues in this instantly reminded me of Halloween. It was strange, but it was just, the music was outstanding to the film. It really, really was amazingly queued up, and it kind of brought out the images that you were seeing so much, and it gave that, you know, that emotion that you're not getting from the dialogue, because there is none, from the music and the visuals. It just it collaborated so well together. I really, really enjoyed it. So and one of the awesomest things about this film, you know, in true Giallo fashion, it's very sleazy. It has a lot of sex. It has a lot of lesbian sex in it too. You know, a little bit of tits, a little bit of muff, a little bit of ass, you know, things going on. You know, maybe some threesomes, but there's a whole pile of kind of diversity in the sexual charge of the film too, which adds to it. I really like that though. It kind of flips itself from the sexual charge to the paranoia and things that are going on in the film, and I really highly enjoyed it, man. It's just kind of keeps you on your toes. And with that said, you know, this film only runs about 60 minutes. I think it's about 65 minutes, it says on the back, and it's a quick watch. It really is a quick watch, but I shouldn't say exhausting. It's not exhausting to watch, but it's just, you really do have to put like 110% of concentration into it, you know, to get the full feel and, you know, and try to fully understand what's going on in this film too. But really, really cool, man. I really like the way, you know, even the violence in the film is presented. It's, again, very much like a true Giallo. The blood, and, you know, I guess there's not really a whole lot of gore and stuff, but there, I mean, a little bit, I guess, but it just looks fantastic. The blood was really like the right color and stuff. So, but I can't say enough good things about this one. I really enjoyed this. I would like to see more stuff from Vince D'Amato like this. Maybe, you know, maybe in the future we'll see some more from Bagato, Giallo, you know. I'd like to see what they do next, but if I had to rate this film, I'm going to give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. This was just really, it was kind of a treat. It's definitely not for everybody. If you're not into Giallos, if you're not into like New Age Giallos and stuff, I call it a Neo Giallo because it's just done today. It's kind of after the fact. I think that's kind of what the term is meant for and stuff, but it really does it presents a very true look and feel of a 70s Giallo or 60s Giallo. So yeah, awesome stuff. 8 out of 10. And there's actually a short on here called Sex and Death, 1977. It's a little like 20-minute short here by by Vince D'Amato. I knew I was going to say Joe D'Amato. Vince D'Amato. This one right here is actually kind of a really cool tale of, you know, what happens when you cheat, and, you know, you might catch like some type of weird, you know, sexual virus or parasite or something like that. It was really interesting, man. I really kind of dug it. You know, you kind of wonder what the fuck is going on. It's really done. You know, it kind of looks like that old 70s Giallo type feel to it too. Very 70s look, and, you know, the music is even done by McEvil again. And, you know, but the gore in this one is awesome. I really like the, you know, the thing that's used, and I won't give it away if you know, if you're looking to pick this up or whatever. I don't know. I really don't have a clue where you can pick this up anymore. Maybe from the website and stuff. I'll try to leave the links down below, but yeah, I like the short, man. It was pretty well done. It's, you know, sexually charged, got some blood and gore, 20 minutes of just solidness, very cool visuals, but awesome release right here. Reversed, of course, there. 2 moods from Vince D'Amato. Yeah, I highly recommend this, man. 8.5, just a different type of film. Like I said, it's not for everybody. You know, I can't see everyone liking this type of film, and I can't wait to watch this one again. So, yeah, that is going to do it for day 7 here on the 31 Days of Horror. Yeah, and I will be back in day 8 with, don't know, haven't picked a film yet. So, see you guys then. Peace out, homies.